It's a Godwinson live news alert. This one, it's DSP 2, folks. We're talking about the greatest confidence trick in history, certainly in the history of this sector, and it's delivered to us by the greatest of all charlatans. That's right, Dark Side Phil. By the end of this, you'll come away with a newfound knowledge on how to be a complete scam artist, complete charlatan. You'll be an antediluvian king because all the answers are here on this piece of paper. They're all just here on this piece of paper that I can't show you. I might have to fold it, might have to shred it, might have to set it alight. But they're all here. I just can't show you. I just can't show you what's in the document. All right, let's get into this. This might be a wild night, folks, so stay tuned. When last we left off, it was DSP going on about his 5K a month in business expenses, that he was using every excuse to wheel out mortgage, bills, tax, anything, apart from the one answer that we all knew it actually was. The 5K a month, as per the fucking leaked bank records, showed that DSP was spending the 5K a month in business expenses on WWE champions because he's a gambling addict. He's addicted to a mobile gacha game, and it's pretty fucking tough, bros. What can we say? However, the saga doesn't end there. So we covered the 5-hour side-scroller interview with the two faggots, Craig and Adam Kringler, I think he's been termed as now, in light of that interview. So we covered those 5 hours. There has been a wealth of content that have sprung from that interview, and this was what I'll show you in a second. This right here will be the start of Phil's reaction to the interview and how they tried to fuck him. But he's unfuckable because he's going to fuck them with this piece of paper. All the answers are here on this piece of paper there. Okay, so to play us in, I want to do this. This is my favourite of all of the Phil parody songs. I'm going to do a bit of a dance. Kevin Chat's going to do some bopping about. A few of you are going to do a few lines of whatever is your preference. Brian's going to fire up about 7 sock accounts and demand the head of everyone in chat. Persip's going to do something gay. And Squire will be, I don't know, boiling some soft asparagus. So the writer's room, it looks like, did a show last night where they covered the Sons of Kojima. And whilst that's incredibly interesting, it's also irrelevant shit that no one gives a shit about in the current year. Maybe one day we'll do the Sons of Kojima show and talk about the events of 2016. But the way I talk about the events of 2016 is I relive them. And I feel it apt to send Brian back in. Brian needs to infiltrate these faggots. However, the writer's room covered a portion of this. They even glanced over the blank piece of paper before they had to go on and talk about PPP and Warski paywalling. Running behind a paywall under the promise of Mentos challenges. Ghost hunting. A studio. And other shit that no one cares about. They're in exile. Enjoy your exile. Enjoy the island of the paywall, traitor in tart, because it'll never get as good as it ever was. The peak, if there was one, long past it. The fact that you've had to go running scared from the sector says it all, really. But that's my 2 cents on that. I could give 2 shits. And I'm certainly not going to be reviewing every fucking stream that's behind the paywall, because it's all the same old shit. They might label it premium, but it's literally just them watching Ralph who's watching me. them watching Nick Fuentes, who's watching me, and they react like they are done, finished, finito. But thank God we can resume our normal transmission. So, somebody once told me that YouTube's got that money to help. The king has returned. No more Ralph fucking content peasantry. Oh, did you see what's in the court documents? I could give two shits. Xander was wearing a America t-shirt. It's his favourite toy. Faith stitched it. Who gives a flying fuck, you psychopath piece of shit. Maybe if I write more words, serve more papers. How dare Ralph be allowed to spend 2 hours over 2 hours on a Saturday, 2 hours on a Sunday with his own flesh and blood? How dare he be allowed that? Let's subpoena him. Let's actually dress the child up in novelty ornaments like a corn cob, wearing a Metacore hat. Let's use the child as an ornament to fuck with the fathers. That's insane. That's truly insane. But so as you can see here, this is the latest DSP A-logging community, folks, and it's real fucking depressing, isn't it? You've got the guy who fucked over his business partner at Screw Attack. It's Craig. You've got Adam Cringler, who's like Tim Pool's ex-co-host or some shit. Maybe DSP3 is going all in on this faggot. You've got like a literal woman who thinks that she knows it all about DSP. And you've got DSP just reacting in real time. So this is his reaction to their super show where they tried to grift more money beyond the 30k they earned off the podcast. They're going to keep stringing out the DSP show. That's their legacy. Know this, faggots. That's your legacy. And you got to keep wheeling it out. But Phil's going to have the last word because he's got it all in his hands. He's got it all in this piece of paper right here. So, we're showing you this because this is the greatest confidence trick in the history of the sector. And I want you all to live and learn by this one. So, this is Phil reacting.
Was that it? It's expensive.
Ha ha ha! Phil's gay. Phil. Ah! Like, who the fuck is this? Mr. Vickers looking faggot. Ah! Phil. Ah! Phil ain't heard no bell. Phil's seen you faggots in your various incarnations over the years. Your Sons of Kojimas, your Fred Foxes, your Brian Dunns. Your Jackie Chins and your heavy metal gamers. He's seen it all and he's just like, same shit, different day. Ha ha ha! Phil's a retard! Ha ha ha! My bills still need a paying. Ah ha ha!
I got them all written right here. Trav, you know, the funny thing is that paper was just blank. It was blank.
This is it. So, Phil is going to get up from his seat and he's about to exonerate himself because he's got a piece of paper just off camera that's been there the whole fucking time while people have been going on about his 5k a month in business expenses and saying that it's all for WWE champions. He's actually got an item. This, by the way, is an Acer manual for the laptop I've got. So, all of the samurai that are trying to enhance what's on this document. There we go. There we go. So, he's got a piece of paper that's going to exonerate him. He's got an itemized piece of paper with each of the different with each of the different billings that exonerates him completely. And none of the billings apparently will say WWE champions. And what Sons of Kojima Point 4 are saying is, ha, Phil's a retard. Phil says he's got a piece of paper. Well, the king's about to rise from his throne, and he's about to withdraw the piece of paper.
The paper right here with all my expenses written on it? Right here, motherfucker?
Now, the paper, he's just said, the paper right here with all of my expenses written on it. The paper right here, motherfucker. And we're going to pause it when he shows us the paper.
The paper right here with all my expenses written on it? Right here, motherfucker?
We're just going to...
The paper right here with all my...
Now, for those that are visually challenged, what he's waving around here is literally a blank piece of paper. There is a blank piece of paper in Phil's hands that he's waving around and saying that saying that this exonerates him. It has the itemized accounts all on it. And he would be correct in saying that on that piece of paper there's no mention of WWE champions because that's a blank piece of paper, ladies and gentlemen. But it exonerates him.
Expenses written on it? Right here, motherfucker? Right here? The paper with writing all over it? There.
The paper with writing all over it, he has just said. That blank piece of paper with writing all over it. Now, he's going to do something where he's going to turn, like, water into wine or some shit. Maybe Phil is Jesus. Maybe this is what we deserve as humanity in the current year. Maybe he's just going to completely gaslight us into thinking this blank piece of paper is an itemized account statement that breaks down the 5k a month in business expenses, and we can just take it. We'll just accept it. We'll just fall under the pignosis and just nod along and go, yes. And you know what? You will. The Pay Pig certainly did.
It's literally still at my fucking desk, you idiot. God, these people, again, you want to talk about disingenuous. They didn't believe a word I said. Here, I just want to make sure that I don't have personal accounts on here.
So this piece of paper that exonerates Phil, he's now not going to show the piece of paper to the screen, even though he's just literally got the piece of paper right here and waved it around, and people, spoiler alert, people have broken that down to 0.00025 speed, and in each of the frames we can see that it's like a blank piece of paper. But he's now going to say that he simply cannot show this piece of paper because even though it exonerates him completely, there's stuff on this piece of paper that the trolls, the A-logs, the detractors simply do not know about. So what he will do now is something truly keynote. This is a teaching from an antediluvian king on how to be a complete charlatan. Coach Red Pill, take note.
Right.
Invest with Trading 212.
Now, this is the current state of the DSP detractors, right? So we were literally 1.5 minutes in, and Snort Hogan, this faggot, name and shame this piece of shit, Snort Hogan decides to lace this with adverts because he's a piece of shit that wants to monetize a lolcow. Snort Hogan is an insect. Literal trash. And, you know, we have to fucking... But be sure that within the millisecond of this being skippable, it will be skipped.
I'm trying to think, like, how could... I don't want you to see what accounts I have, right? Obviously.
He doesn't want you to see what accounts he has, obviously. Like, obviously. You know, you don't just show your fucking bank statements just to everyone on camera to exonerate yourself. But It's all here in this document. Everything is here in this piece of paper. So just take my word for it. Now, I can show and wave around the piece of paper, and you can break it down frame by frame, but ultimately, I simply can't show you the piece of paper because there's personal shit on there.
Can I show you this paper? Not really. Right off the bat, there's like 2 accounts that are personal accounts, you guys should know about.
So there's 2 accounts on this piece of paper, and probably more besides, that the detractors simply can't know about. So on this piece of paper, bizarrely, there are itemized breakdowns for at least 2 accounts, probably 3, if not 4 or 5 accounts, all on this piece of paper that break down the $5K a month in business expenses.
Fuck, because I wish I could have folded it. Yeah, already guilty, because all my utility companies' names are on here and everything. Maybe I just fold it a certain way.
Maybe I can fold it a certain way. So, you might have watched this and thought, okay, what's he going to do? Is he going to, like, present us an origami swan and say that this exonerates him? Is he going to present us, like, a little fucking paper airplane and say that that exonerates him? I genuinely think that in this point in time, Phil was thinking, if I just show them a paper airplane, an origami folded swan, they'll buy it. I think he was genuinely thinking, I'ma fold this to some origami panda or some shit, and they'll just buy it.
Not that I should have to do this, right?
Not that he should have to come down the mountain and show you the exonerating evidence.
Do a crazy folding job, right? Here, maybe if I do a crazy folding job, right?
So he's attempting to do the origami swan. The man has no shame. The man has absolutely no moral compass or values. He's about to try and attempt the origami swan. The piece of paper that exonerates him, it contains so much information, so he's just gonna present this to you. He's gonna present that to you. This is the true efforts of a king, and the true showmanship that the Dark Side Phil cinematic universe presents.
Now, this is really stupid, but just to show how dumb they are, okay?
Just to show how dumb they are, I'ma show you an origami swan that exonerates me. He's folding.
I'm literally just going to show you one tiny part, alright? One tiny part of it. Yeah, maybe I should cut it up, maybe. Again, I'm trying to show you without, again, so Phil wants to prove what he's saying is true, but even just to show you this paper has personal shit on it that can expose me. You understand what I'm saying now about proving innocence?
Amazing.
Like, literally, I'm like, right here. Well, here's the utility company. You can't show you the name of the company, right? Here's this, here's the account. I can't show you. If you see this, you're gonna fucking, people will do shit, you know?
He really wants to show you the piece of paper. He really does. He knows it will exonerate him. But unfortunately, you just can't see this blank piece of paper. Unfortunately, this blank piece of paper is just too explosive. So even though he's going to fold it so you can only see one line of this piece of paper, this blank piece of paper, even that's too explosive. So events are conspiring against him. Trust the plan. Paywall the paper.
Literally, because I wrote all the names. Instead of putting, like, garbage removal, I put the name of the company. I can't show you that.
So it becomes apparent that Phil admits to writing this piece of paper. He has written down all of the items on this piece of paper. So you'd have thought that something that would exonerate him, he'd have probably written down stuff that wasn't highly personal that he could then reveal and say, this piece of paper exonerates me completely. So he has written this document.
So, sucks. But this is the fucking paper right here with all of it on it.
It sucks. It's all right there.
But I think you understand the point. Even that. I was gonna read it off one by one.
He was going to read off his own writing one by one, but he just can't. The detractors. He's thinking of a way to sell
The
it.
only thing I shows website charging mortgage probably is the only thing on here that I could show you that doesn't have anything on there that you should know about, right? Yeah, taking a look. Jesus, because everything else puts me in exposure, right? Two last things is any earnest person would understand why you can't show it.
Any earnest person. So the pay-pig says, any earnest person would understand why you can't show this piece of paper that you've written out, that's actually blank, that you've just withdrawn and said, this piece of paper exonerates me. Any earnest person would realise that you can't show this piece of paper.
I fold it this way, right?
If he
Like
folds it a
this,
certain way...
fucking like this. Right? Like this. It's like
Weird-ass Joker laugh. As even he is like, I can't believe what the fuck I'm doing. As even he's like, I can't believe they're fucking buying this. I can't believe they're super chatting in and saying, anyone in earnest would realise that you can't show the piece of paper. Even that Joker laugh from Phil, the is, it betrays the fact that he knows it's all a big scam.
Hold it this way, right? Like this, and fucking like this, right? Like this. It's like origami. I have to fold it 400 times.
He has to, the 400 folds.
Show anything that can be shown, right? Here, I'm gonna try this.
He's going to try it.
Just to show that.
So he's going to show you the exonerating evidence that completely clears his name on the 5k a month business expenses question. I'm going to give you a preview of what he's about to show. Here you go. Here you go, folks. This is the exonerating evidence. It's not a piece of paper I've scrawled into a ball. No, it exonerates me completely.
That I'm not full of shit, right? So, what is that? What is that? Okay, that's okay, I guess. That's okay. What is that? Hulu. You can see Hulu. All right.
You can see
So here we
Hulu.
go.
He can't believe what he's about to do.
So just to, I'll pre-read it.
He'll pre-read it.
It's the website that I have, my website, dspgaming.com, the mortgage payment, my phone bill, which I'm going to cover, the name of the company, and my car insurance. Okay?
Amazing. 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 The piece of paper. Walk free, Phil. Walk free. You are a free man. Not guilty. Not guilty. And as you can see here, he was, I mean, we'll break it down in a second, but he was actually writing as he was attempting to, as he was building up the hype to show you this document. He was actually writing on this blank piece of paper. Mortgage, website, and phone bill in his own chicken scratch writing. Bizarrely, the pay-pigs bought it, and they bought it without question. They just accepted it like marks. But watch and learn. This is how it's done, isn't it?
Oh, you can't. Oh, there you go. Can you kind of see the writing? Oh my god, you can't see it. The camera won't even adjust. Yeah.
It's the camera. Now the camera won't even... Now he's made it so that even his chicken scratch is completely illegible. He's presented the piece of paper that was blank as of 5 minutes ago. He's presented that into the light now, so it's completely illegible. But that clears him. And it exonerates him completely.
Fuck. Well, you can't see it. You saw writing. You see writing. Okay, you can see writing. You see I'm not full of it. There's fucking writing on the paper right there. I can't... The camera won't...
There's his writing on the paper there. He's not fooling. You can see that there's writing on this blank piece of paper. And done by his hand. Now I'm going to break this down. So you can see here that he's actually writing on the piece of paper before he presents it. He's actually writing on it.
What is
So
that?
he's laughing
What is
and
that?
writing.
Okay, that's okay, I guess. That's okay. What is that? Hulu. You can see Hulu. All right. So here we go.
He puts down the pen.
All right. So I'll pre-read it. It's the website that I have, my website, dspgaming.com, the mortgage payment, my phone bill, which I'm going to cover, the name of the company, and my car insurance. Okay? Oh, you can't. Oh, there you go.
Bravo.
You can kind of see the writing. Oh my God, you can't see
Bravo,
the camera when you
Phil.
adjust. Yeah. Fuck. Well, you can't see it. You saw writing. You see writing. Okay, you can see writing.
You can see the
You
writing.
see, I'm not full of it. There's fucking writing
not
on the paper right
fooling.
there. I can't. The camera won't do it. But there you go.
The camera
That's
won't do
literally
it.
Every month, paper, my expenses that I'm going to read to them. And the point they're making, all right, here's the point they're making, because we can address it, all right? I know, you can't see shit. I wasn't going to prove nothing. The point they're making is, you know, they asked, what are $5,000 a month in business expenses? I don't even know where that comes from, because I don't know what they're talking about.
He doesn't know where it comes from because he doesn't know what they're talking about. Well, Phil, it comes from your own bankruptcy form submission that you wrote yourself. That's where that comes from, where you put $5,000 a month in business expenses. It comes literally from your hand that you put on the bankruptcy fucking submission. That's where that comes from, Phil.
You understand? Well, I don't get it. I don't even know what they're talking about. All right? I don't, you know.
I don't even know. I just don't even know what they're talking about.
I have no clue what they're speaking of. Because I don't know if that's from the bankruptcy report, if that's a tax return, if that's data that was taken from a tax return and transferred to a bankruptcy report. I don't know what that entails.
I mean, you wrote it. The number came from you and you alone, Phil. So, I mean, it's for you to answer that question, sir.
I don't know what's considered business income one way or another for taxes versus, you know, bankruptcy report. I have no clue. I'm not a legal expert on this shit. I would never be able to answer that question for anyone. So instead I said, here's what I can do. I can literally pull up my monthly expenses and read through this. You guys can know exactly what I spent every month.
I can literally pull up my monthly expenses and read through this. You know, I might have to set the paper on fire and shred it first, but, you know, I can literally pull up the document that exonerates me.
Would you like to hear it now? Because they wouldn't let me do it. They cut me off. Here's my monthly expenses. Are you ready for this? First of all, there's a reminder on here that at the beginning of every month I should, you know, cash out what I make on Patreon and then send my Patreon private DMs for people who are owed their perks.
What? That's on his breakdown of monthly expenses? A reminder to cash out his Patreon and reply to his Twitter DMs? That's what's on there.
We've got Hulu, Comcast, which is my internet.
So $10 a month in Hulu.
Everyone knows that. My monthly condo dues, my Game Pass subscription.
Game Pass subscription. Notice how in this itemized list, there's absolutely no mention of WWE champions, which it has been conclusively proven, no matter how much Phil says it's an identity hacker or some shit like this. In the leaked bank statements, hundreds and hundreds of Apple Pay transactions that correspond to the app WWE champions that Phil is addicted to. Hundreds and hundreds of Apple Pay transactions that amount to hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars being spent on this app. It's all there. We all know the answer, but no one mention of WWE champions.
Yeah, everyone knows that. My monthly condo dues, my Game Pass subscription, YouTube Premium. I have a note on here to pay federal taxes every month. My garbage removal, my water bill, my website charges, my mortgage, my phone bill, my car insurance. I still have monthly payments to Amazon for a few things I bought last year that are almost done. Payments to attorneys, okay? Medical payments that I'm doing ongoing every month. My back tax payments that I do every month. My car payment that I do every month. My electric bill, my health insurance. And then I have notes at the bottom of things that are important. And for example, be sure to prepare for your dues next month or whatever. Like that.
Be sure to wipe your ass. Be sure to clean your penis. Notes at the bottom that help him out. that he's written himself. I mean, this is truly exceptional.
Every, like, quarterly I have to do business taxes for the state. It's quarterly. I don't even know what month that I have to pay those. Okay? Like, literally, that's it.
He just shows you it there. Look. It exonerates him completely. Watch.
Pay those. Okay? Like, literally, that's it.
There you go. That blank piece of paper that Phil is holding there in the corner, that you can break down and look at frame by frame and realise there's nothing on it apart from the 4 things that he scribbled on there just before he showed it to us in a folded format. There it is. That's literally it. You know what? I believe him. I believe him. There's a sucker born every minute, and I think I'm one, folks. It's legit, isn't it?
That's what I pay everyone. And of course, not on there would be, for example,
WWE champion.
You know, if I have to buy a specific game, stuff like that, something comes up that I have to spend on. Of course, there's nothing on there like groceries. That's weekly. That's normal stuff. This is my list of expenses every month, right? So I don't know where the numbers come from. How the fuck would I know?
Because you wrote the bankruptcy filing that listed 5k a month in business expenses. And you're the one actually spending that money because yours is a business of one. And you are that one, Phil.
Why am I expected to know that? That information on that bankruptcy report is not supposed to be something.
I mean, the pay pigs are donating. They're buying it. It's literally, it's worked. It's worked. He can scarcely believe that the paper scam has worked, but it's worked.
That's supposed to be public. You know what I mean? No one goes into that shit. You know, like I said, that was the most ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous bankruptcy ever. Even the judge admitted it, said, I've never seen anything like this before. This circus that it became, right?
Now he's literally putting, and you'll hear him literally put the blank piece of paper in the trash. He will literally just drop it in the trash, screw it up and drop it in the trash.
Right?
There it goes. In the trash.
But you see what I mean? Like, even something as easy as that. You think, oh, that's easy. That's, you know, it's not a big deal. It is. That's exposure right now.
Amazing.
If I showed you the name of companies that I'm paying, utility companies and shit, that could hurt me. They've done it before. Years ago, they called my electric company, tried to turn on my electricity. Right? Right in the middle of my work week. Like, now, that would have been terrible if I didn't have the notification that was going to happen. Right? So.
Go. I got the drip. Go. I got the drip. Go.
I think we can all just take a moment to... Bravo, Phil. True, what a masterclass. And the fact is, the money did roll in after that. The pay pigs bought it because no one who was asking in earnest would expect you to show the piece of paper that you've just pulled out of your fucking ass. That you've literally just written on and folded to show you what a performance. Bravo. That's why Phil is the king, isn't it? That's why he's truly the antediluvian king that all of the others bow towards. The king of kings. All right, I'm going to play us out. We might have some exceptional stuff tonight. It might be a fire night tonight. There might be an interview. We might be harking back to the glory years of 2016 where we interviewed ABJ. The glory years of 2020 where we interviewed Mama Papa Vickers. Might be a wild ride tonight for the Sunday Super Show. What could it be? Who's the subject of the interview? Who knows, folks? Who knows? If we can get it together, I think it will be entertaining. I have a vision. I have a creative vision in my head that I think is going to provide a lot of entertainment. Who could it be? What's going on? I'm hoping in about 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, so top of the hour. Top of the hour. Should be a good one. Because I've done some research. I didn't have to plumb these depths. What's in here is truly fucked at this point. To write out the question sheet, it's full of questions, look. Full of questions. I want to clarify the truth. I want to get to the heart of the matter. All my questions will be asked tonight. Because I've seen shit you wouldn't believe, folks. I've got a whole fucking ream of questions right here. I'm going to have to fold them slightly to not give too much away. But you can see here, just there, you can see the question, is that you really pissing yourself on camera? And if I do this, you can see just there is the question, is that you really carving the name of the owner and proprietor of Kiwi Farms into your thighs? You see it? And just here, this is the final spoiler alert of the night. Just there is the question, did you let Vordrak lay pipe? Did you let Vordrak lay pipe? Don't believe me, it's all here. I ain't fooling. I ain't fooling, folks. I just can't show you everything. I can't show you the whole thing, folks. So about 8 o'clock, go live, bitch, and we'll play ball.